Settling into your seat and into just you as you are in this moment. There's no need to leave any part of you behind. You don't need to only bring some imagined spiritual self to your meditation seat. Just come as you are. And just that invitation and reminder may help you to feel a little more surrendered to gravity, more at home in your body and in your experience. So just notice that. That the way that you arrive at each meditation sitting is where we start. And by letting our whole being land in our seat, it enables our practice to touch our whole being. To feel the sensation of your hips, buttocks, legs resting on your seat. Feet may be on the ground, or if you're cross-legged, you may feel them touching each other. But essentially, really registering the touch of your body to the solidity of the ground. It's such a direct reminder that there is this deep holding available that enables us to relax within our own experience just as it is. And also to receive the message, the transmission of stillness. The body comes to stillness. And oftentimes other parts of our being follow suit. So perhaps the mind is informed by the body's stillness, the emotional body, the nervous system. It may take time. There's just very simple acknowledgement of the stillness and the solidity below us can help the body to remember. You may notice your nervous system responds too. It begins to perhaps slow down a little bit, relax, feel perhaps less taut. And then take a moment to open the lens of perception to the breath. In this case, the breath exactly as it is. Letting go of attending to any mental commentary that may be running here, whether that's related to the breath or related to how you're showing up. Just let all that come and go. Let the mind be, and give your attention to something else for now. So attending to the steady rhythm of your breath, whether it's full or shallow, open or somewhat constricted. Practice showing up without imposing standards or ideals. Today, I'd like to invite you to call to mind something that is a highlight, maybe in your day or in your week, something that brings a brightness, a joy, love, a softening of the heart. It could be an activity that you do. It could be looking at a picture of your grandchild. It could be having a conversation with someone dear to you. It could just be the thought of someone in your life or a place you've been to. So, calling to mind a highlight in your life. And you'll notice we call it a highlight because it feels bright in the system. I invite you to notice how your breath may shift when you think about this highlight. What happens to your breath? And for some of us, it may speed up. For some of us, it may slow down. For some of us, it might bring forth a sigh. Just notice without any kind of preconceived ideas of even what it might do. So this is an exploration. And explorations are best embarked on with a very open mind. So how does your breath shift when you think about this particular delight or highlight in your life? And let's just stay with that for a little bit. And every once in a while during this practice, you can just drop that highlight in. Like it may kind of shift into the background as you focus on your breath in this moment. But every once in a while, you can just let it drop in like a pebble dropping into a pond and just letting the phenomena that is that particular highlight drop into your system and ripple through all the layers of your being. Because this highlight is not just an event, it's not just a person, it's accompanied by physical sensations, emotional responses, energetic awakenings, um, perhaps certain sensations, certain images, certain qualities may get activated. So we're going to get to all of these things, but I just want to um, kind of begin by highlighting the fact that these highlights touch us on many levels, and it's how they touch us that creates this specialness to them. And the encouragement today is to really let those highlights in, to really let them touch us to our depth. Because the way that we are touched is not so much about that place or that person or that experience. It's more about life waking us up to our own light. This is how we honor the highlights that come our way, by really letting them wake us up to our fullness. All right, so let's move from the breath to, again, when you think about this highlight in your current life, how does it feel in the body? How does it land in the body? Let yourself be surprised, because it may not be what you expect. What parts of your system begin to feel perhaps more open, maybe more warm, maybe more spacious? And really allow yourself to steep in that for a little bit. Give it time to percolate, to penetrate. You may notice that there could also be certain areas that feel a little tense when you think about this highlight. And so see that both can coexist. The areas that feel maybe more open, but also they may be areas that feel protected, maybe areas that feel a little bit graspy. And just let it all be here. And this way, the areas that are lit up can inform the areas that are feeling maybe protected, fearful, clingy. They both have a part to play. That's why they're here. And all of life is about waking us up to our true nature. So, how does the body feel when you let this highlight in your current life come into your being and inform the body? And as you acknowledge that, do you notice that there's some shifts, maybe some spreading, or some new areas that get lit up? In other words, we're giving ourselves time to digest this delight. Giving ourselves the opportunity to really appreciate it. And when you think about this highlight, how does it touch your emotional body? What gets summoned forth? Is it joy? Is it love? It could also be fear. Oftentimes, when something beautiful happens, we appreciate it for a moment and then we become fearful that it will go away. But the point here is that it never goes away. When we let ourselves be touched deeply in the moment with a delight that comes our way, it's eternal. And then we can become more spacious about around what comes and what goes. So what arises emotionally? And you may not be able to label it. It may just be kind of a sense of a kind of an opening somewhere, or a tension or a heaviness somewhere. And just let it all coexist. Both those things that you might label as pleasant, as well as those things that are not so pleasant. But to acknowledge where these delights shine light in a way on the unintegrated material is a way of really honoring that which life sends our way. And also acknowledging what these places light up in us and allowing it to grow our soul, to remind our soul of its light. I also want to acknowledge what the mind might be doing with all of this, what thought streams get activated when you think about this particular highlight in your life. Stories about the other, stories about the circumstance, stories about right and wrong, whatever it is for you. Just notice how the mind kind of wants to box it all in. And by noticing, you become less subject to get caught in that box with the thoughts. And by bringing in the rest of the body, the emotions, the physical body, you help to balance out and to add perspective, broaden perspective of the thinking mind. And if you'd like, you can again drop in that highlight and see where it touches the energy centers. If you're aware of chakras, energy centers, they're down the center line of the body. Just notice which one seems to get lit up and maybe is quite activated. Maybe there's more than one, and just, again, bringing awareness. There's no need for analysis, no need for managing it, just kind of noticing, where does this highlight touch me in my energy body? And let it touch you. There may be centers that feel quite open and kind of vibratory, and there may be other centers that feel, again, a little bit tight. And now I invite you to just let go of that tracking, or tracking anything in particular. And just one more time, just drop that highlight in through the top of your head like a pebble. Let it ripple through your being. And take the final minutes of our time together to just kind of lean back into a sense of receptivity for all that unfolds.